One, York, New York, stand up, baby. New York, stand up. New York, stand up. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you show who you are. You come back from 20 down again. This is the third time this postseason the New York Knicks have come back from 20 points down and win. But two times one against the Celtics and Boston. And after beating the Pacers, coming back down from 20, 106 to 100, the New York Knicks on the road 6-1. Be honest with you. After Friday, I was concerned. I was not feeling great. I wasn't excited. I was saying, God dang on it. New York blowing two games at home. That's usually not like that. But you gotta think about it. They were 3-5 at home this postseason. I don't know why. They just look like the Boston Celtics of old from last year when they won the championship. Going on the road and finding ways to win. But that's not the here or there. Let's talk about the game. The game was pretty interesting. The game, it was a little bit back and forth to start with, and then the second quarter comes, and then New York started not look the same anymore. They started to get beat up physically. They started to look like they didn't belong on the court with Indiana, and Indiana extended that lead to 20 points. And then the third quarter comes, and then you seen something a little bit. You probably seen something. You said, "Uh-oh, why is New York waiting coming back?" You say you won't be surprised if they come back and get this within maybe 10, 15 points by fourth quarter starts, and then what happened? They went from a 20-point lead, Indiana, to a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter. And then that was the problem. Jalen Brunson got in foul trouble. Jalen Brunson had 4 fouls. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, he picked up the fifth one close to the end of the third quarter because Tom Thibodeau, he benched him out the whole fourth quarter. That takes some guts. And I'm glad, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm glad Tom Thibodeau did that. Will give Tom Thibodeau credit when it deserves to be credit. I have been a harsh critic of him without the challenge because I did not like him as a coach playing all his guys 48 plus minutes and not relying on his bench. And what happens when you rely on your bench? Your bench came to play. But I want to give these bench players credit. Mitchell Robinson, Deuce or Miles McBride, however y'all want to say it, McBride. I want to give them a lot of credit because there been games that they haven't even played at all. And the fact that they were ready to play, ready to step in that moment shows not only the grip they have, but the toughness they have. So I want to give credit to McBride and Mitchell Robinson for always staying ready. Another person I want to give credit to is Josh Hart and OG Anunoby. OG Anunoby had a good offensive game and a great defensive game. He made some key stops that helped the New York Knicks win this game. OG Anunoby made some key shots to get the New York Knicks not only back into this game, but also sealing the deal as well. So I want to give the Knicks credit for finding a way to come back and all that stuff. So, and then another guy I want to give credit to, Paul Anthony Towns. This man is finally showing why the New York Knicks finally traded for you. You better take your big stuff into the paint and better be a post-up player. There's nobody on Indiana that can really stop me for real, which I will get to Jalen Brunson. And I seen a comment yesterday on X that probably, you know what, low key, I kind of agree with. But Carl Anthony Towns, do you know Carl Anthony Towns scored the same amount of points as the Indiana Pacers did in the fourth quarter? One. Carl Anthony Towns in the night, I think 23 and 24 or 24 points. I'm not sure the exact score, but I think it was 23. But if I'm wrong, y'all can fact check me. 20 of them points came in the fourth quarter. So we was about to say Carl Anthony Towns laid another dud again, scoring 3 points as the starting center for the New York Knicks. And then he turned up and get hot. And he went 6 of 9 from the field and 3 of 5 from the 3-point line. to not only help New York get back into the game, but help New York feel the game as well. If we want to say who was the main reason the New York Knicks won this game last night, it was because of Pat and his play in the fourth quarter, along with Josh Hart. And I said I was going to give Josh Hart credit as well, because although he had 8 points, he had 10 rebounds. Josh Hart always plays with a lot of toughness. He always plays with a lot of grit. He always plays with a lot of fierce. He always does. And I want to give Josh Hart that credit as well, because them 10 rebounds were huge. That like for him to get 10 rebounds for his size in his position shows that not only he is tough, but he's trying to instill that toughness into his team. And when Josh Hart started grabbing rebounds, everybody else started grabbing rebounds. So everybody else started playing defense. And I think we finally saw what New York's defense could look like. If they're hitting shots at a consistent rate, they're going to play tough defense on you and they can play excellent defense. But the moment they feel like they're not hitting shots consistently, or they feel like there's no chance of winning, their defense is going to be even more trash. Look at game one. They were up 20 and then they didn't hit shots, and then yeah, Indiana came back and won. Look at game two. Indiana kept within distance in them, but then what happened? Jalen Brunson, who kept hitting shots in game two, bring them within three. Their defense was better. So for the Knicks defense to be excellent, it's all about shot making for them. If they don't hit shots, they're not gonna play good defense. If they do hit shots, expect good defense from them. Now let's get to Jalen Brunson. He didn't have a good game. There's no ifs, ands, buts, or there. He did not have a good game. The fact that Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. The fact that he did not have a good game in New York's one show that this team is a good team, because when they can rely without their best player, you can go places. But this also showed me something else. And what this showed me is how Thibodeau may have to play lineups without Jalen Brunson at certain points too. Because if you've been looking at these playoffs and you've been looking at this series in particular, Indiana has been hunting Jalen Brunson on defense. They've been hunting that man. And I think it's crazy that they've been hunting, because you looking at Jalen Brunson, you saying, okay, dang, why are they hunting? Like, but when you thinking about it, Jalen Brunson is literally the worst defender left in these playoffs, without a shadow of a doubt. The man don't even put no effort into defense. But let's think about it. You could say that he's been playing with a guy that did not play defense as well, Luka. So he's right. You gotta think about it. Jalen Brunson was under the Luka tree. So if Luka didn't play any defense, why do you think he should play defense? And just he said something like very fun. Bro, bro, Jalen, like the way New York offense is, J- uh, um, the New York Knicks hold the ball for 24 seconds and Jalen Brunson holds that joint for 17. He said, there's some profanity in there, but I'm not gonna say the profanity word. But he basically said Jalen Brunson holds the ball for 17 to 24 seconds. That's their offense. And when you think, I was laughing at first when he first said it, but then when you think about it, it's like, he ain't lying. He ain't lying. They like, I said, but they rely, I said also they rely on Jalen Brunson's hero, heroism too much. They need to let Cat shine. They need to let Mikal Bridges. But I'm not gonna let this go. You traded 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges. So obviously, you trading that many picks shows you see something offensively in him, as well as the defense he can provide. Let Mikal Bridges get 10 shots again. I'm not saying he gotta go three. I'm not saying he gotta go 8 or 10, but let him get 10 shots. There's been games that like he been getting like 15, but it's like it's been an inefficient 15. Let 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 Mikal Bridges be your third best player. Because the cash struggling, you gonna need somebody to come. I say, let the offense go through Mikal Bridges sometimes. Let it go through Cat. But the fact that the way the New York Knicks is going to win this series is not going to be based on a Brunson's performance. Because we've seen that the last two games, game one and game two, and they both automatically lost. And now that he didn't have a good game and they scored 18 points, but they got scored from other places, they won. Now, for Indiana side, how the heck you blow a 20-point lead, dog? 20 points? You let the New York Knicks come back again from 20 points. And I'm gonna get to the Knicks further because this is their third time winning the game after being down by 20. It's crazy. This two teams that like when you tell the story of these playoffs and you ask how they get to meet each other, comeback is the key word. Comeback is the key word. I'm being so serious. It's all about comebacks with these teams. So you're playing the team of comebacks, and they're coming back on each other. Indiana came back from 10 points down within 2 minutes, and then New York Knicks came back. So this is why this series, whoever wins is going to deserve to go to the NBA Finals because they have a lot of grit, they have a lot of toughness, and they play with a lot of force and finesse sometimes. They just do. But dang, New York. You know what? Dang Indiana. Go New York, go New York, go. Now, I'm sorry that y'all might be losing to the winner of Minnesota and SGA, but I said Minnesota SGA. Minnesota OKC, but it was a good run while it lasted for whoever makes it to the NBA finals. But I still have Knicks in seven. They still got to win game four. I think if they win game four, they can get this to seven and New York will finally pull it out and win. But if they don't, Tom Thibodeau, just because I gave you credit on what you did this get past game, don't mean you not getting a pass either. You're going to need to get fired if y'all lose the series. Because for me, you don't deserve this job anymore. Not anymore, at least. Not this job, no. They let you take the reins for a few years. You haven't got nothing with it except for one Eastern Conference final and no NBA Finals appearance since then. So it's gonna be time to move on, and that is it. But Indiana blew a 20-point lead, making New York Knicks win 106-100 off of a cap 20-point fourth quarter, where you went 6 of 9 from the field, 3 of 5 from the 3-point line. And game four is tomorrow. That's the time or tonight by the time I'll be posting this. I'm trying to post it today, but if I don't post it today, it will either be tomorrow and game four will be the because it's every other day. VCs are every other day because the NBA finals, guys, the NBA finals starts June 5th. That's next Thursday. You know why? Because my birthday's on the 4th. That's a Wednesday. So the NBA finals starts in literally 1 week from Thursday. It's crazy to say the NBA season is almost over. And after that, football season is upon us. So I'm excited for the rest of these playoffs. I didn't talk about OKC Minnesota because they've been all somewhat blowouts. So far, maybe tonight be a different story. Maybe tonight's the first game where you see some back and forth, and let's see who's coming out clutch. But other than that, I wanted to try a different style of the video because um, a lot of people probably didn't want to see my face anymore. Not that it's been happening in the comments, but I just want to try a different style of video and see. And if y'all want me to talk about WWE and wrestling companies, I can do that as well because I've seen from my views that my wrestling video got a lot more views. It might be one other video, but my wrestling, and you talk about top 5 views, my wrestling video with the Pat McAfee show and The Rock got a lot more views, and I think y'all, I don't want to say y'all liked it, but y'all probably like the style that I did it. So if y'all want me to talk about wrestling, I would, but I just want to try this style of video where I'm voice recording myself talking about it because I just want to see how it will feel and how it will look. But like, share, comment, subscribe if you're brand new. You know who I am. But if you don't, I'm AKA Reggie Black. I'm out.